Okay, so we have here the beloved cylinder. So this is just a cylinder, and it is obviously a 3D shape. Because it's a 3D shape, it has different formulas. So with this cylinder, obviously we know that, let's talk about the volume first. So the volume of this cylinder, or let's keep it simple. Let's talk about the circle first. So we know what makes this a cylinder is this circle over there. Now with any cylinder, this circle here, the area of any circle as we know it, it is just pi r squared. So when you want to now talk about the volume of a shape, you have to consider the area of this circle over here multiplied by the height going downwards. So the volume here will be pi r squared, which is the area of your circle over there, and then you just need to multiply that with the height going downwards. You see, that deals with volume and surface area, and it doesn't matter what kind of a cylinder you're working with. If it's a small one, big one, it doesn't matter. You see, your radius is always going to be from the start here until the edge. You see, that will always give you your radius. Even for this smaller ones, same idea. So before we do carry on and start talking about things like the surface area, what you want to recognize is that when you're thinking of this circle here, if you look at the top part is just a circle. And what we know is that with all circles, just like what we have pointed out already, I mean, what makes a circle is its radius. If you have its radius, you can work out a lot of stuff with regards to this circle. So with this circle here, what we need to keep in mind is things like circumference. Now, the big issue is that circumference, when it comes to a circle, it is literally the same as the perimeter. And the perimeter slash the circumference is just 2 pi r. Don't make the mistake of putting something like 2 pi r squared or something. You see, your area is just pi r squared, your circumference is just 2 pi r. So I was having to have discussed what the circumference is. Obviously, since we're still talking about this cylinder here, we now need to introduce where surface area comes from. So another way to think of surface area is this. There we go. What you get when you add up all the different areas of all the sides of your shape. That's what surface area is. So that's why when you think of a cylinder, right? If you open up a cylinder, let's open up this cylinder here. If you're going to work out the surface area of this cylinder, hashtag all these cylinders here, we know that you have a rectangle that is formed somewhere there. And then we also know that you have a circle somewhere at the top there. Oh, that's too tiny, Brody. Come on now. Make it a bit bigger. Make the circle bigger. And then you also have a circle at the bottom as well. So let's just copy this one here. There we are go. So with this kind of a setup, we have to consider the fact that if you had to work out the surface area of this shape, then you would need to consider each individual shape first and then add up all those areas. So what we already know is that with a circle, I mean the surface area of any circle is just pi r squared. You see, so you have pi r squared there, pi r squared at the bottom over here. Now the big deal here is that you need to make sure that you recognize that this thing here opened up, because you know that this is just the radius, right? And you know that the circumference is that entire length over there. So if you open up your shape, you know that the circumference, which is 2 pi r, will be this 2 pi r over there. There we go. And then obviously your height from top to bottom, this is just going to be h. So this down there is just going to be h. So clearly, if you're looking at the area of the shape that's inside there, as in this rectangle here, it's just going to be length times breadth. So the area here, so obviously surface area is just the area of the rectangle plus the two circles put together. So your entire surface area, get like a nice colore iso, pink. So your surface area for your shape here would be the area of these two circles. So it's like one circle plus another circle. So you have 2 pi r squared, because it's pi r squared plus pi r squared. So you have two of them. So here, let us see. We said it's just going to be the area of the two circles plus this here, which is just 2 pi rh. And then that would be that. Nothing crazy, nothing fancy. you don't have to worry about anything else. That would be the surface area of your cylinder. So you see, with your cylinder, you have to consider things like the area of the circle is just pi r squared. That's a formula you need to know. The volume is just the area of the circle times the height. And then the circumference is the distance around the circle, which you need for when you need to work out surface area. Because remember, surface area is what you get when you add up all the different areas of all the sides of your shape. So obviously we have spoken about this cylinder here. Let's move on to another shape.